let's get to our next record. It is Time Skiffs, the 11th album by Animal Collective. It's their first record in 6 years, since 2016's Painting With. That the new record sounds to me like the kind of record that a lot of people maybe wanted to hear after Merriweather Post Pavilion. Like if this had been the follow-up to Merriweather Post Pavilion, I wonder what their career would have been like, because it is the poppiest, most straightforward Animal Collective, I think, by far. It's like way straighter than even Merriweather Post Pavilion.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's very little about this record that's weird or noisy or off-putting, which I think is kind of like a for better or worse proposition with this band, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're right in that I don't know if I'd call it the most pop record. I think it's the most straightforward in that it's not as outwardly abrasive or annoying as Centipede Hurts or Painting With was. Like Floridada, like I think it's a very dumb song that I love. Watch the video. Like if you do nothing else from this episode, like watch the video. It's real. Like it's so. They either have to be like so self-aware that it's painful, or like just lack self-awareness of any modicum. But yeah, like when I hear this, like I've always believed that Animal Collective was just one album like this away from like getting, I guess, not their reputation rebuilt, but like having a different attitude towards them. Because what you were describing, that sort of acclaim and backlash simultaneously happening, was that, especially in the past decade, there was this idea that people were tricking people into liking Animal Collective and similar bands, like, and that this was happening at the expense of pop artists. You know what I mean? Like that's always been the disingenuous part of it. It's like, oh, people are tricking us into liking Animal Collective instead of, say, you know, the most ubiquitous music on the face of the earth. You know, it just so happens to be that this type of music was loved by blogs and websites back when they had a oversized influence. You know, that just happens to be it. And so I think that the desire to move on from that era has resulted in the music being criticized in a way that's a bit unfair. But yeah, I mean, this is, you know, I enjoy this album, and I can put it on probably at work without annoying people. Like it's a Beach House record, you know what I mean? Which is good, but also I'm like, I kind of want that abrasiveness, you know? I want even how it existed on like Feels or like Strawberry Jam, which are seen as like at the time very accessible Animal Collective records.
Yeah, I feel the same way. To get back to what I was saying about Painting With, which came out again in 2016. And I feel like that just came and went when that album came out. People were like, I don't have the patience for Animal Collective anymore in 2016. But when I was, listening to Time Skiffs, I went back to those 2010 era records, and I felt like, Painting With is like a little too abrasive. But I feel like if you made a playlist of the best songs from Time Skiffs and the best songs from Painting With, it would almost achieve the balance that you're talking about, where you'd have some beautiful songs and you'd have some more abrasive songs. And I feel like that's always the sweet spot with this band. Like you bring up Feels. That to me is my favorite. That's, I think, the best Animal Collective record in my opinion. And it's almost split evenly, like between noisy upbeat songs and these just beautiful, like more like ambient sounding tracks. So yeah, I mean that was my feeling listening to this record too. Like I like it for what it is, and I think it is the best record they've made since Merriweather Post Pavilion. I do wish it was like a little weirder than it is.